Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of You Ought to Know Live, seen and heard live every Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouAutoKnowLive.com, part of the Hangout10.com network. I'm Dave Serio, your host of the radio program You Ought to Know, seen and heard every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 12 noon on DaveSerio.com. And on local radio stations in the Maryland area. It's great to be with you. Got some of my best friends with me right now in the automotive industry, and I look around, they're my best friends, whether they were in the automotive industry or not. Just great guys, and glad to have Jose Bueso up first. Jose Bueso is from Dynamic Automotive. They have 3 great locations in the Frederick, Maryland area. Frederick is kind of in between Baltimore and Washington, and a lot of folks that live in Frederick work in either town. Most of them work in the Washington area. And how are things going in Frederick, Mr. Jose?
Just beautiful. Today was a lovely day weather-wise, and we're busy again over here at Liberty Town, at the Liberty Town shop. And I ran over to Urbana today. We have our weekly meeting over there, and those guys are very busy over there too. So very, very nice. We just had our parking lot refurbished at the New Market location, and this time around we did concrete around the shop area, and boy, what a difference that makes. It's a very clean finish. It's not susceptible to deterioration from grease, oil, or gasoline. Stuff like that, as asphalt is, and you can certainly lay a kickstand down on it. You know, asphalt, you leave dents in it.
Exactly.
If you want to hoist a car up on a hydraulic jack, that concrete is wonderful for that. So definitely a large improvement there.
What about oil stains and things like that? Are you? Is it susceptible to that, you think?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we'll get our share of oil stains, and we'll be proud of them, too.
There you go. We made $3,000 on that stain. We made $1,400 on that one. Yeah, that's
there we go.
Just put price tags next to them, you know?
Exactly, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Proving, once again, the smaller leaks are usually the most expensive, you know?
Right, yeah. So,
all right, well, tell the folks about your 3 locations. Oh, you can continue the cement.
Well, I am at the Liberty Town location, and if you want to reach me, you can call me at 301-694-6250. We're open 6 days a week from 8 to 6 on Monday through Friday and 8 to 12 on Saturday. Our New Market shop is also opened up 6 days a week. Their hours are 8 to 6 Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 on Saturday. Their phone number is 301-694-5460, and you will talk to the lovely Sarah or my partner Lee over there, and they'll take good care of you. And then we have a 3rd location right off of Route 270. That phone number there is 301-874-8833, and that shop boasts a full-service quick loop facility up front, a 9-bay repair shop, and a 60-foot soft cloth car wash that Michael Lambert just loves.
Well, he does. He talks about it all the time.
Yeah, and really, I put my car through there today. It was a lot of fun with all that foam and psychedelic lights going off, and it really does a great job. And
I got some bad news for you, Jose. None of those features are working right now. That was just the drugs you were on.
Yeah, good stuff. I got them at TBS.
Here you go. I see behind you the collage on the wall of all 3 locations.
Yeah, those are all 3 locations behind me, with Urbana in the middle, and nearest to my head in the picture is the original location, New Market, and then off the furthest is my location, the Liberty Town location there. Yeah.
Now, I have a question for you that I should probably ask on the air, but have you ever thought about getting just one phone number for all 3 locations and having operators stand by?
No, not really. it's better if they can call the separate locations and get a human being without being transferred all over the place. I think it makes it for people to connect with the location. So I really don't want to create filters like that within the business. If somebody needs us, and they can call us at that location, and they need to talk to us, boom, they got us right there and then.
All right. I was just thinking about a centralized phone number that may be a little easier to remember. That's the only thing that I was thinking about. But okay, very good. I understand that. That's good.
We've connected in other ways. Of course, the interactive website. We have a virtual private network that all of the locations can communicate through. But as far as the phone systems go, we've kept them pretty well separate. I will say, though, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but sometimes phone numbers are not listed appropriately, either on websites or in the book like they should be, or they get mixed up. They're calling New Market when they really want to call Urbana, and I'll have that occur quite a few times a week.
Sure. Very good. All right, Mister. Well, we're going to be back with you in just a few moments. I got to talk to some of these other guys. I feel the need. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Good to talk to you, Jose Bueso from Dynamic Automotive, 3 locations in the Frederick, Maryland area: New Market, Liberty Town, and Urbana. Let us go to the man with the plan when it comes to exotic automobiles. Okay. If we've been saying over and over on the radio about how you can take your daily driver, just a car that you drive every day, to Mike Lambert and get it detailed. You can, but Michael Lambert is also detailer to the stars. That's right. If it isn't the stars or the owners, it's the stars that are the cars. You are doing a McLaren P1 on Friday?
Yes, we are. We're going to go up to Philadelphia and take care of that, and I'm really excited about it because I'm going to be working with Larry Casella, who's Mr. Ammo NYC, and he's we're going to do the whole thing, film it from beginning to end, and put it on YouTube. So that'll be interesting.
All right, make sure you trim your nose hairs, okay?
Yeah, I got to get a haircut and all that stuff. Clean clothes, underwear, you know.
There you go. Cameras get awful close, you know. And the old fireman, you know, I know you're always prepared, but that's still scary there. So let the folks know what a McLaren P1 is.
It is. It's McLaren's newest offering. They've only made, I believe, it's 388 of them for the world. So they're going to be a pretty rare car to see. It is a hybrid I think along the lines of 900 horsepower with the gas and the electric engine. I watched a test drive on it. Jay Leno had the first one delivered in the country, and I watched his test drive on his channel, and it's pretty impressive. All carbon fiber, you know, a lot of aerodynamics, things like that.
And that's the car that goes for about $1.5 million, right?
Yeah, somewhere in that area, depending on how you outfit it. And it's done to your taste. It's every little odds and ends is you pick it. Color, any color of paint you want, they'll put on it. Things like that. So it's interesting.
Amazing. And then within a couple weeks, you probably have a LaFerrari ready. Yeah,
we haven't had that scheduled yet. We know we'll be doing it. We just don't know for sure when.
Right, and that's going to be the first one in North America.
Yeah, it's the first one that was delivered in North America.
How did he beat Jay Leno?
Jay Leno is not a big Ferrari guy, Corey. This gentleman is a friend of Jay Leno's.
Okay.
And Jay Leno's not a big Ferrari guy for some reason.
Okay. All right. I can understand that, even though I love their cars. It's just they're expensive, and they're expensive to maintain, and you know he's got enough expensive stuff to maintain.
They do business in an interesting way. They will only allow you to buy certain of their car models if you've had previous Ferraris, and they know who owns those cars. So it's an interesting way they do business.
Well, they're doing something smart, that's for sure, because they don't have problems selling $1.5 million and $2 million cars.
No, not at all. I think they're all gone, as a matter of fact.
That's amazing. That is amazing. It is. So let's talk about the Shine Shop. That is your business, along with Lena, in the Reisterstown, Maryland area. You are an extreme detailer, as I like to call you. And, of course, the folks that are your customers are very, very enthusiastic about their automobiles and want them done a certain way. What's sitting behind you right now?
It's a 2012 BMW X5.
Okay.
Gentleman found me on on the web, on the internet, and brought it down. It sits outside a lot, so he wanted ceramic coating put on it. So we took care of that yesterday, and he'll be picking that up in the morning. So it turned out very well. Had a lot of he must not be going to Jose's car wash because he had a lot of car wash scratches in it and some bird staining and things like that. So we got all that taken care of and cleaned the inside up for him. He has kids that love Cheerios, so we had to clear that out. So
there you go. Hey, who doesn't love Cheerios? Come on.
That's true. That's true. And I still cannot, for the life of me, figure out where a child has learned how to put Cheerios where Cheerios shouldn't be. I don't know how they learn that, but they do.
It's an early acquired skill, that's for sure.
Yes.
All right, so that one's done in the Gion, correct?
Yeah. No, not this one. This was done on our previous coating that we are down. We have 2 more cars to do with that, and then we'll be in with the Gion, the complete line of Gion products. I'm not allowed to say what the other coating is anymore.
That's okay, no problem. Gion is the new product that you're going to be using, and that's from Asia, and that's supposed to be even more durable than a lot of the other coatings that are out there right now. And it's going to be an interesting product for you, because I know you're excited about it because you already put it on your black Challenger, and I saw your Challenger Saturday at the Hunt Valley Horsepower event, and it is truly deep black, beautiful. I mean, it really was.
We're real excited about the line, and we're working with Esoteric Car Care out of Indianapolis, and very nice people to work with. Talked to them on the phone a lot about this product, and they really helped us out getting started. They found out about our other situation, and they stepped right up, and it's been a joy to deal with them, and the product. We're really looking forward to using the product.
And not to get into extreme details, but one of the reasons why you've decided to change products right now is because of the fact that there was a regulation as far as price, and you wanted to keep your prices the same, and they were actually asking you to raise prices. So
we wanted to. We thought that it was an unreasonable expectation for our area. So you have to excuse the phone. So.
Oh, that's your phone?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was ready to yell at Jose. I'm sorry.
No, that's my phone in the shop. I forgot to unplug it. I apologize.
No problem.
I'm muting mine right now since I heard that.
Very good, very good. So your contact information, Mike, well, first of all, the website's right on your screen, theshineshopAutoDetailing.com, and your phone number is 410-833-1632. In a short 2-minute synopsis, give us a little bit of ideas on this Gion and what a ceramic coating is.
Ceramic coatings are semi-permanent coatings, meaning they don't wear off. They don't wash off like traditional waxes and sealants. Gion is a little bit different than the rest of them. They're chemicals that they use to apply the actual glass coating, the ceramics, to the paint are not alcohol-based as most other coatings are. So it doesn't evaporate as fast, leaving more of the coating on the paint, making it thicker, making it harder, and more durable.
All right, I'm trying to figure out how that P1 got ahead of my Pantera, my Magnum, and my Viper. I want to know that. How'd that happen?
He had his appointment about 2 years ago.
That'll do it. Yeah, you told me a long time ago that he was buying this car, and that's incredible. That's great. I'm glad to see people can enjoy their money. That's for sure.
Yeah, and he's a really nice guy, and he's a super car guy. So.
Yep, that's 2 good qualities right there.
Yep.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Be with you just in a moment. We are now going to go over to Mr. Dave Winward from Jasper Engines and Transmissions, or as he just puts on his little lower third, Jasper Engines. But now you sell more transmissions than engines, mister.
Yeah, maybe I should change that. And when I try to fit the whole thing, it doesn't fit. So then I should switch it to Jasper Transmissions because we're selling probably 2, possibly 3 to 1 transmissions per engine now.
Wow.
And,
well, you know, one of the advantages that you guys have, you can say this, of course, better than I, but with the newer automatic transmissions, and I'm talking about newer, I'm talking about like from 2000 up, a lot of these automatic transmissions cannot be bench rebuilt easily. And you, as a corporation, can do a automatic transmission much better as far as quality control and allow the transmission shops can still buy from you and still make a living.
Yeah, absolutely. And the tough part nowadays is when a brand new transmission's released. Dodge has a 8-speed that I'm driving. Now they have a 9-speed automatic.
Yeah, the Jeep Cherokee.
Yep. The first guy that's got to take one of those apart and try to put it back together, he just spent a long time, and he puts it back in the car, and that's the dyno test. That's the first run. Yeah. So he's crossing his fingers when he's going around the block, and if that thing doesn't work, it comes back out again. And if anyone has ever rebuilt transmissions or been in that situation, a lot of times the first one takes a couple tries, and in today's world, you just can't risk that kind of profit loss. You're paying that guy for 3 days worth of work to get one job done, and it's just not, it doesn't make sense.
Jasper's after somebody, I'm not sure who.
Jasper's with me on that one.
There he is. Jasper the dog is talking when Dave was talking about Jasper, that's for sure.
He heard his name.
That's it. So are there really people out there trying to rebuild 8-speed, 9-speeds? I mean, 8 speeds are not that new. Lexus has had the 8-speed now for what, about 7 years?
Yeah, I don't see too much of it. Most of the transmission shops that I'm dealing with usually stick to the easier, older transmissions, the 3-speed, the 4-speed, in fact the GM 4L60 4-speed that they put in all the trucks and a lot of rear-wheel drive cars is still a very popular transmission, just because there's so many of them out there, and that transmission has evolved into a 6-speed transmission. And a really interesting thing is the 6-speed front-wheel drive GM. It's the 6T75. They put them in like the Malibus and the Impala. It's the same transmission in, say, a Ford Fusion. General Motors and Ford they came together and they shared technology and put out basically the same transmission that shares a lot of the internal components. So I think the theory behind it was, if the big three don't get together and start, instead of fighting themselves, they can put their heads together and try to be more competitive with a lot of these imports that, these imports are just bombarding our country. And it's not in a bad way. A lot of them are made here. But I think 80% of all the cars in California are imports, and so in our efforts out on the West Coast, we're spending a lot more time developing the import program, that then we can implement that on the East Coast as time moves on.
Well, what do you think of your 8-speed automatic transmission in your Dodge Charger?
Everything is computer controlled, and it's fly-by-wire, so there's no physical mechanical device that connects the gas pedal to the throttle valve. It's all done electronically, and it's almost like a lot of times, and people say, well, does it shift all the time? Well, a lot of times it's not even starting in first gear. It might start out in third gear. As you're rolling, the computer's trying to figure out where it should be, and then kind of picks a gear. So it might shift from first to fourth to 8, depending on your driving situation, if you're going downhill. And it seems like sometimes it just doesn't know where it's supposed to be. And I've been in situations to where if I'm going up a slight right-hand turn going up a hill where there's like a stop sign, and I'm looking both ways, I hit the gas, and literally nothing happens. And it was a reflash on the computer early on that I think helped it a little bit, but you really got to be careful. You got to make sure that thing goes, and once it goes, that 3.6 in that Charger runs extremely well. Oh man,
that's one thing that you got to remember though. Automatic transmissions, one of the hardest things for an automatic transmission is to come to a stop and then go right immediately.
Yeah,
which we all do, and that's really tough for any automatic transmission because it has to get down the gears and then start to go back up. Yeah, I can't imagine. It's just me, but most of our speed, 98% of our speed is between 0 and 70 miles per hour. And you've got an 8-speed and now a 9-speed in the Jeep Cherokee. It just seems to me that during acceleration, the whole thing it's doing is shifting.
Yeah, well, and surprisingly, sometimes I don't even feel. I tried counting the shifts when I first got it, and most of the time I really couldn't count 8 speeds because I'm assuming that it was skipping some of them. Maybe under late acceleration it went to second, to sixth. So I don't know, and the car does pretty good for fuel economy, and I see the report of all the salesmen that have the Chargers with the same powertrain, and there might be 20, 25 of them out there, and we're all getting somewhere between 21 to 24 average miles per gallon, and that's a lot of city driving too. So
Sure.
if it was all highway driving, that thing could probably get 28 plus miles per gallon, which for that engine's almost producing 300 horsepower. That's pretty impressive. So the technology is very good, but sometimes I don't know. I just like that quick throttle response, like an old car. You just hit the gas and you're going, and the wheels are spinning, and
you got to get that Mustang back on the road, then.
What's that?
You got to get that Mustang back on the road.
Well, I was doing burnouts with it over the weekend, which made me very happy.
Very good. Hey, I've got a question for you. The 3.6 Chrysler that's in your engine, and then also the Hemi, the 5.7.
Yeah.
Michelle is looking right now for a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and those are the two engine choices. Have you seen or heard anything on either one of those engines as far as durability? Because she's looking in the 70 to 80,000 mile vehicles. Any problems? I know the Hemis get rebuilt once in a while, but I haven't heard anything really bad about them.
So you're looking at a 3.6 or the 5.7 Hemi?
Yeah, I think the 3.6 is in the Cherokee when it's the V6 is at 3.6. Yes.
There were some early problems with the 3.6, and they'd get this intermittent misfire code that would turn into a hard code, and then they would replace cylinder heads, and they had it down to, I think it was the left cylinder head. Now, I talked to a Dodge dealer today. He said that problem has pretty much worked its way out. So whatever was the problem, whether it was a valve seat, valve guide issue, it seems like they've cleared it up.
The 5.7 still seems to be more durable.
Well, the 5.7, the earlier ones, they were dropping the valve seats. The 2.7s, the 3.7s, or actually the 3.7, 4.7, and 5.7s. The earlier ones were dropping the valve seats. So I don't really see what's happening to the vehicles when they're still under warranty. I talked to the dealers, and I haven't really heard them talk about it. So I'm assuming that problem's been cleared up. And the Hemi is a very, very good running engine. It's been for a while, so if just the fuel economy is going to be very poor compared to the 3.6, but then there's going to be a lot more power. If it's something, I guess.
Well, I'm getting 18 on my Magnum.
Are you? That's good.
Yeah, that's not bad for a vehicle that looks like a hearse. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I love that car.
I like it too. I really have. I've enjoyed it. All right, so what do you have for us? You've got a contest for us tonight, right?
Yeah, and the last one, no one got it, and maybe I'll flash a picture of it.
Okay.
Let's see.
This is the one Jose knew.
Well, this was there's a picture I wanted. This is the last contest.
Okay. That's it right there. Jose, what was that, buddy?
I can't see it.
Was that a ball joint tool?
A ball joint.
Yeah, it's a ball joint.
Yeah, ball joint.
A lower ball joint. It looks probably like an import, I would say. It kind of looks maybe like a Toyota, something.
Yeah, Honda. They go up all the time on the old Hondas, so that's probably a Honda.
Yeah, so, there was a couple of guesses.
What do you got for us this week?
Well, one thing I did want to share with you, I had a really short video here on a neat piece of apparatus we use to polish camshafts. So
all right, well, let's do the let's do the video, and then we'll do the contest when I come back to you.
Okay, that sounds good. Last time I was showing engine boring, and that was a boring video. So this is a cam polish video.
Okay.
So you can see the.
You got to keep your cam polished. I've always said that.
Yeah. So there's what we're doing here is we have it's a very fine piece of, it's almost like emery paper, but they call it Trizac paper, and it's a really neat abrasive material. When you look at it under a microscope, it actually looks like little teeny pyramids, and instead of like, if you remember sanding with a piece of sandpaper or emery paper, you kind of got all the, it would kind of clog up on you. Well, the Trizac papers kind of clean the debris out as it's turning and polishing, so it's a very accurate polish. So this device actually puts a the correct amount of pressure on the cam journal to get the surface finish to where we need it to be. So it just kind of moves back and forth.
Wow.
Now it's doing between the lobes, right?
Yeah, that's just the lobes. So we're not touching the actual. We're not touching the lobes. We're actually polishing the journals.
Yeah.
Now the
Yes,
lobes are actually they're refinished on a different machine, but that's just the final polish on the camshaft.
That's neat. Now you're going to say this. I'm sure it's true. Not a lot of remanufacturers do that, correct?
Probably not, and we've seen some of the the more backyard kind of companies that they'll take a piece of emery paper and just kind of do one of those and clean it up and yeah, it might work, but we're very concerned about the perfect finish and the proper oil clearances for the longevity of the product.
Very good. All right, when we come back, you've got a contest. Just tease the folks. What do they have a chance to win?
A baseball hat.
All right, very good. It's an Oriole hat, so it was real cheap at the store right now,
They're very cheap.
All right, hold on a second, Dave. We'll be right back with you.
Thanks.
We're back with Jose Bueso. Jose Bueso, the owner of Dynamic Automotive, 3 locations in the Frederick area. So how's everybody doing at all 3 locations? All keeping pretty busy?
All of us are keeping pretty busy. Yeah, everyone is doing their job, very diligent. We had a failure in the car wash, blew a hydraulic hose, and went over there. When was it? It was Friday, and it needed a couple of hydraulic hoses replaced. The guys jumped in. They took the hoses off. Fairly simple repair. Sent it down to a shop here in Frederick where they rebuild those hydraulic hoses. They're designed to withstand about 4,000 psi, and replaced them. Washed the cloth down because that hydraulic oil just sprayed everywhere. We had to really clean up the car wash, and we were back in business within 3 hours. So that was pretty good. So
that is impressive. I honestly, Baltimore, we turn around hydraulic hoses. They turn around in a day. So they don't. There's no 2 hours or 3 hours from around there. So you've got somebody in Frederick that does special work then if they turn it around that quick.
Yes, they actually did the repair on the hose while my guy waited, and they were able to dispatch them very quickly, and we were able to effect the repair and get back into business, same day operation. The hardest part of that job was actually the cleanup.
I'm sure it was. It really had to be because that oil, when it goes places, it sticks, no doubt.
Yeah, it was, and the floor got slippery. Of course, you can walk inside that facility, and it was a little dangerous, but we cleaned it up real good, and we're back in business. I have a question for Dave Winward.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No. Go ahead.
What is Jasper's experience with CVT transmissions? Do you guys overhaul and refurbish them also?
Nope. And
why is
we've looked at them, we've taken them apart. The issue is a lot of people were experimenting with them. Mazda seems to have the most success. Actually Nissan. Nissan had a lot of success. Ford used them. Mazda used them in some states. But right now there's such a small amount of them on the road that it doesn't really make sense for us to dedicate that much part of our business when we can barely keep up to the regular stuff we're doing. And if it gets to a point where we judge our production by the amount of calls we get in, if we start getting a lot of calls, and I don't handle that stuff, but there's certain percentages they're looking at, certain numbers, it'll raise a flag, and we'll say, okay, we know that people are asking for this product. Now we're going to start, looking into it. And a CVT transmission, they're really not that complicated. There's some special tools involved. There's 2 big pulleys. There's a belt inside of it, and a lot of electronics. But right now, we are not touching any of the CVT stuff.
Well, Dave, if I could ask you one question is, if you're not thinking about doing them right now, are CVTs still being put in a lot of the new cars?
I don't think a lot. You know, maybe or Nissan might still be using them. A lot of the companies that were jumping on that CVT wagon, they've jumped off. Ford, I don't believe is using them at all anymore. I think they used them in the Escape. I think what was that Ford 500, the all-wheel drive kind of deal. I think they might have put them in there. Some of the hybrids may be using them. You know, the electric cars, a lot of them don't really even have a transmission. They're just basically the electric motor. And so, yeah, the problem has been, it's a really neat concept. I mean, it's based on like a snowmobile clutch. It's a variable. There's no gears. It's just a variable. The pulleys, the pulleys actually expand and contract, and the belt, you know, rides up and down these pulleys. And the power that these engines are producing now, this belt just can't hold it. And so there's a lot of slippage involved, and then you have metal contamination. So until they figure out a way that one of these can handle, you know, up to even a four-cylinder's. Ford's got a four-cylinder producing what, over 300 horsepower now?
Yep.
You know, they're going to Mustang
305. Yeah, 305.
They're having a hard time with conventional transmissions with clutch packs holding this kind of horsepower. So yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see that technology progress, but you know, it's because it's such an efficient design. But yeah, I guess time will tell. And right now we're not into that game. And
all right.
People that even do it.
Would you say that the trend is now headed for these multi-geared transmissions, such as the 6-speed, 7-speed, 8-speed transmissions that are out there?
Absolutely, 9-speed, absolutely. And the funny thing is, a lot of these transmissions, some of them don't always contain more parts. It's just the way that the clutch packs are electronically engaged. They can actually produce more gears. So they're figuring out tricks. I think an Allison transmission, like a 4-speed Allison, I think you know, these tinkerers, they can get into the electronics and actually get another gear out of them just by, you know, changing some of the things like that.
Well, let's see if they can learn another trick and see if they can go over 100,000 miles.
Yeah, that's the hard part, and that's why we're capitalizing on the transmissions, because the engines are lasting 200,000 miles. But the power they're producing, the transmission's out at, you know, anywhere from 80 to 100. So our theory is almost every brand new car is going to need a transmission. Somebody's going to put a transmission in that car at some point. So
wow,
you know, that
opens
opens up a huge opportunity for independent shops. Whereas in the past they were competing with the transmission shops getting all that business. But now, as the transmission shops have migrated towards the replacements rather than repairs and rebuilds, it kind of opens the playing field. It's more of who can get it done the quickest and most efficiently and the best quality price, the best quality product.
Very good. Well, thank you, Dave. Back to Mr. Jose.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
The reason why I was asking, I had a Nissan Altima in here, 2005, with 120,200 miles on it, and it had a CVT transmission that had failed. Of course, I called Jasper to see if they had a remanufactured unit, and they said no, we don't make those. So I had to go through Nissan, and actually their price wasn't too bad. But I did find out that Nissan had extended their warranty on the transmission to 120,000 miles.
Oh my God!
So at that point, I told the customer about that. They called the hotline up, the corporate line up. They were 200 miles out of warranty.
Right.
And of course, they opened up a case, and we have yet to see if Nissan will bend a little bit and take care of these customers only being 200 miles out of warranty.
Yeah.
Let me know what happens on that, okay?
What was that?
Let me know what happens on that, please.
Absolutely. You know, I worked for GM dealerships for 25 years, and you know, when it came to cases like that, when we had a customer who was even a couple of thousand miles out of warranty.
Right.
Our experience at the Buick store, the Cadillac store, even the Oldsmobile store, was to bend over backwards and take care of that customer.
Right.
And sometimes I see that happen, and sometimes I see them act like it is black and white. Okay, you've gone over that threshold. Sorry, you're out of luck. You know,
Yeah.
so I really am interested to see how corporate Nissan handles this situation.
So am I. I would like to know that. Very good. Well, Jose, thank you for being with us this evening. We appreciate it, buddy. Your number again at 301-694-6250. And you can find out more also on the web at dynamicautomotive.net. Sounds good?
Yep, thank you.
Tell Todd we missed him. Your one half of the dynamic duo is in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. He's developing an accent right now as we're talking, and he'll be back in just a little bit, and then have to get back into talking Frederick eyes.
Yeah, I'll tell him, and I'm sure he'll be back next week with us.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jose.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Mr. Mike Lambert, once again, from the Shine Shop. Mike, your head's being cut off a little bit by the camera, by the way, just to let you know. So there you go. There we go. Got to see all that hair. I'm not used to that, by the way. So tell us a little bit more about some of the things that are going on in your life. It's been a very eventful 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, we did the Cars and Coffee, or the Hunt Valley Horsepower last weekend. That was a pretty good turnout, and I understand they got quite a bit of toys for tots.
Right.
So that's a good thing. And today I worked on a brand new 2015 Mercedes S65 and a 2015 BMW i8. So that was interesting.
Yes. Explain to the folks what the i8 is.
The i8 is BMW's new hybrid, plug-in hybrid as they call it. And it's quicker than a Porsche 911 with a 3-cylinder turbo motor in it, believe it or not. And it's just...
4-passenger, 2-passenger, what?
Well, it has those seats they call insurance company seats in the back. Mm-hmm. It's just basically a sheet of vinyl over top the carpet that looks like a seat.
Oh, with seat belts?
Oh yeah, with seat belts.
Okay.
I don't think anybody that's over 2 feet high could probably fit back there though. It's a rather small car, gull-wing car. It's difficult to get in and out.
Right.
But a neat car, interesting car to see. A lot of angles, a lot of air ducting for aerodynamics and things like that. But interesting.
Sounds neat.
Yeah.
And we can talk a little bit more about Hunt Valley Horsepower. I was there doing the radio show from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and that was a blast. That was a good time.
It started off a little chilly, but it warmed up a little bit once the sun came out, because we were there dark time.
Well, you should have been sitting still doing a radio broadcast in the dark. Okay.
I know.
And by the time the sun got to me, it was time to leave.
Yeah, it was, but it was nice though. It wasn't freezing; it was just chilly. But they had a really good turnout. I think between 600-700 cars.
I would think so. Yep. And some very interesting cars also.
Yeah, a lot of interesting cars. A lot of older cars there this time around. But yeah, a lot of nice people, a lot of new people this gathering. So that was good. And that was the last big gathering, but it goes on every week.
Right.
So we're interested at that, and hopefully Friday. When we go to Philadelphia on Friday, we'll be able to take a bunch of pictures, so that'll be good. Hopefully we can have them for you next week.
Please do. We'd love to see pictures of the P1, no doubt about it. It's a dumb name, by the way, P1. I'm not even going to go into that, but
there's probably a story behind that. So
I'm sure. One of the engineers had to take a break during the making of the car, I guess.
Yeah.
That was it. All right. By the way, Hunt Valley Horsepower, folks, is at the Hunt Valley Town Center. It's every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. here in Maryland. There is no such thing really as Hunt Valley, Maryland. It's Cockeysville, Maryland. But the story goes that a lot of the people that were retailers in Cockeysville were planning on moving into this new town center, just didn't want to use that name, and they came out with Hunt Valley, which is what the McCormick Company came up with, because they probably own almost all of Hunt Valley. Yep. And there you go. So that's how it became. And there is a Hunt Valley zip code, but folks, there's no Hunt Valley post office. So explain that one to me. I don't know how that works. But yeah, it's a real nice area, and we do every Saturday morning 8 to 10 at the Hunt Valley Town Center located on Shawan Road between Interstate 83 and York Road. And Mike, you're there almost every week.
I try to be there every week. I'm not sure about this weekend. I don't know how late I'll get back from Philadelphia, but
right.
And I haven't looked to see what I'm working on Saturday, so it depends.
He needs his beauty sleep is what he needs, folks. Really.
No, it's been a long time since I went on a 2-hour road trip to do any work.
I hear that. He's going to say, enough of that.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Sounds good. But Lane is the boss. You just do what she tells you to do.
I just ask what I'm supposed to be waxing on what day of the week. She does a wonderful job keeping me organized and keeping everybody happy.
That sounds good. Mike, thanks so much for being with us this evening.
My pleasure. I appreciate it.
All right, we're going to get back to Mr. Dave Woodward. We've got the contest for everybody. We have a hat to give away, a Jasper hat. And what is the contest, Mr. Dave?
Well, this is a tricky one. And
okay.
I've been fooling with my old car. Hadn't been started for 10 years, so I'm finding a lot of broken parts. So this is old time stuff, but I got a little piece here. What's this guy right here? It's not a thermostat. I mean, it's actually very, very small.
Okay.
My hand. It's got a little spring. And I can put up another picture of it here.
Okay.
There's a better picture. So it does have a gasket on it.
Okay.
These things, back in the day, they were very common to go bad and be replaced.
Okay.
So if you know what that is, you get a hat. And last time nobody got the bulge one, so I thought that was an easy one. So I figured I'd make a really tough one, and I'm sure we'll get a bunch of good responses for this one.
Sounds good. Okay, first one to email correctly the name of that part to jasperman73@gmail.com is the wiener. So thank you, Mr. Dave. We appreciate it, buddy.
You're welcome.
Dave Winward from Jasper Engines. You can find out more at jasperengines.com. You can find suppliers, people like myself that are Jasper installers throughout the country at jasperengines.com. You can find out pricing, and of course you can find out if Jasper remanufactures your engine or your transmission just by putting information in about your make and model. jasperengines.com. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
DynamicAutomotive.net. For some reason, when I click on your picture, Jose, it's giving me a fit. But you're up again. There you go. DynamicAutomotive.net is the website for all three of your locations. And 301-694-6250 is how we can get a hold of your smiling face Monday through Saturday. So you're open Monday through Saturday. Saturday is what, 8 to 12?
8 to 12, yep.
Yes. So you are open on Saturday during my radio show. Do you get a chance to listen to the show while you're there?
I do. I click it on my computer when I can at around 11 o'clock because that's when you come on WFMD in Frederick, and it's very informative. I always enjoy listening to that show. Okay,
especially that part where we talk about dynamic automotive.
Absolutely the best part.
Thought so. That sounds good. Jose, thank you so much for being with us this evening, okay?
It's always my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike Lambert from the Shine Shop. Don't cry, Mike. It's okay. 410-833-1632 and theshineshopAutoDetailing.com. That's the place to get a hold of Mike if you've got a question about detailing or a question about anything as far as the interior or exterior cleanliness of your car. Feel free to give Mike a call at 410-833-1632.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Mike. Thank you. I'm Dave Serio. I'm the host of the radio program You Ought to Know, seen and heard live every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 12 noon at daveserio.com. My name is spelled D-A-V-E-S-E-R-I-O. The first hour from 7 to 8 is on Q1370 in Baltimore, which also airs simultaneously on 99.9 FM in Harford County and White Marsh. 8 to 10 is the big powerhouse 50,000-watt AM station, AM 680 WCBM in Baltimore. That's 8 to 10. And then 11 to 12, as Jose was talking about, is on Free Talk 930 WFMD in the Frederick area. All 5 hours. 10 to 11, we take a break, but 5 hours of music and show, all on the air, live video and audio streaming every Saturday morning, 7 to 12 at daveserio.com. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Have yourself a great evening. Ladies and gentlemen who've been watching, thank you so much. If you've watched this on archive, we'd love to have you join us live next Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. YouAutoKnowLive.com. Part of the Hangout10.com network. Good night, everybody.